Good morning. In the Middle Ages in this area, pretty much every town and city was made using wood, and unfortunately wood tends to be very prone to catching fire, hence why these days there are only 6 medieval cities left in the whole of Finland. Today I'm in one of them, a place called Porvoo, which is 30 miles 50 kilometers east of Helsinki and still on the Baltic Sea. I am taking a walk across the bridge, hopefully across this picturesque river and into the old wooden town to have a look around. Just before I do head over to the other side of the river, this little area here caught my attention. I was just walking up towards the bridge and there was this footpath that led up to this wooded area, and it looks like there's a viewpoint up there which I'm going to head to in just a moment, and then a little trail perhaps you can follow along by the river. You see the old town over there through the trees. It's starting to rain now, so I'm going to just climb up to the viewpoint, just have a quick look to see what's up there, and whilst I do, I'll tell you quickly how I got here and what my transportation is. So I'm staying in Helsinki. I caught an Oni bus here today. It's about €5 each way if you pre-book it on the internet, which I did. And I've got to say, the bus station, the terminal was easy to find in Helsinki. That's the one I arrived at the other day, but I really thought, even though I arrived half an hour before my bus left, I thought I was going to miss the bus because it was really hard to find the stop I needed. I was searching all over the place. Thankfully, without exaggerating, I managed to find the proper bus stop with about 2 minutes to spare, jumped on board, and about a 50-minute journey here on the bus. There's the ski jump at the top of the hill there. Lots of old wooden buildings plus a modern part of the city. There's the river and then the old town down there. It's my next port of call. Found my way into the cobbled market square, at least I think that's where I am. The history of Porvoo dates back to at least the 13th and 14th century. In fact, the first mention of the city was in the 14th century, back in official documents. The cathedral that I'll be visiting shortly was built in the 15th century, and most of these wooden houses now date back to the 18th and 19th centuries. Just wandering around, it is all good. Tiny little road here. I recognise that from when I was down in the market square. If you follow this down, you'll come to the pink building that I saw earlier. You can see the top of it just about. And just a few minutes down there is the actual market square. But I'm just getting lost amongst these old rickety buildings. Very colourful, lots of different colours all over the place. Greens and yellows and reds. Different styles and shapes. It's an interesting area to just wander around, have a look. I am now at the cathedral, the top of the hill. Very pretty white building. The cathedral was originally built in the 15th century, as I've just said, but it was built mostly of wood and therefore it burnt down quite a few times actually. The most recent fire in the cathedral apparently is 2006, when the roof caught fire and completely collapsed. So that's a pretty new roof up there. Just gonna take a wander around it and then maybe go in and see if I can video any of the inside. So there we are, looking back on the town, the old wooden buildings you can see. I follow the trail down by the cathedral, which is top centre of the shot, and it's brought me down to this little park area. Looks like there's a little trail along the river, so I might follow it for a little bit, see where it takes me. Looking back towards the town, and I'm about to head up this trail to a place where I believe the castle used to be. I haven't read much about it, but what I did read is that there used to be a castle in this town. It probably burnt down at some point. Gotta say, when I came to Porvoo, I thought it was going to be pretty much just a small village with old wooden houses, but there is so much more to see. These trails and hiking areas near the river and up on the hills by the river are definitely worth coming to see as well. I especially like hiking and walking about in the countryside, the mountains and the hills, looking for new places. So gotta say, this is definitely a part of the city that I especially like. Alright, so just across this bridge, and I think I can see an info board just over the other side there, so I'm gonna go and check that out. Well, there is a graffiti artist in town, that's for sure. I saw their work down by the river on the bridge, and they've also seemingly been up here and unfortunately graffitied the signs. Never mind, you can still see the information. It's quite interesting actually. So this is the place where in the end of the 1200s there was a castle. Not much is known about it, but when they were excavating the top of the hill here to learn as much as they could, they did find crossbows. There is nothing here anymore, no foundation or anything like that, but the only thing that they did make note of on the sign was that there are two large pits, one there and one over there, and those pits are the remnants of storage cellars that used to be used to keep food and drink and all kinds of other bits and pieces in. Good to see it, even though there really isn't much here to see. I am going, I think, to head back over the bridge onto a slightly different trail and then back down towards the river.
This is a good day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Visited a museum in Turku the other day that was made up of lots of old buildings, but that was a museum. This is real life, people actually living in these old rickety buildings. Nice place, pretty cool. Yes indeed, back down by the river where it all started this morning, and I am fixing to head back into the old town now, pick up some dinner and then get on a bus at 9:30 this evening back to Helsinki for my final day of the trip. Hopefully you've seen on the video that there is, I mean, the old town is spectacular, but there is even more here to see than the old town. There's the hiking trails, the river, lots of cool stuff to do. But I am, as I said, going to go get some dinner now. Thanks very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.
Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good